And we're live. All right. Hello, Litchfield. Welcome to 90.9, the quadratic for all your math needs. Today we're talking about Algebra 2 quiz review video 1.1 to 1.3. Today and every day we are brought to you by Tazo Zen Tea. Tazo Zen Tea, Cawley's Coffee, and our favorite coffee place in town, unless you call in and want to be a sponsor, Coffee Espresso. Coffee Espresso. All right, folks, video is going to look a little bit different. We've had some struggles here at the desk of 90.9, the quadratic, with capturing them on the Promethean board. So what I have done is I've wrote the answers in red pen originally. We're just going to use, I think, regular pen from here on out to your quiz review. Again, we did this in class. Here are the answers. I'm going to go through and explain. Number one, you want to make sure you follow the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. A shout out to my Aunt Sally. Add 32 and 4 to get 36 here. 40 minus 36 gives you 4. Again, work inside that parentheses. This is inception style, parentheses within a parentheses. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. What's that? With a question? All right, 1 second. I think this is going to make a loud noise, so I'm sorry, people at home. What's that? And we're back. All right, folks, number 2 here, 3/4 of 5 squared minus 13. All of that squared. We want to work with inside the parentheses like I've shown here. Hopefully my mouse picks up on this video. We'll see. 5 squared is 25. 25 minus 13 right here. I got to do that first. Parentheses. You get 12. Then the order of operations says to work with the exponent. 12 squared is 144. 3/4. Shout out to our friends in Boston. 3/4 of 144 is 108. On your quiz, you will have 2 of these. You have 2. You have 4 on your review. You're going to have 2 total. Notice how 1 and 4 look very similar. I expect one of those and expect one like 2 and 3. All right. 5 plus, you got to take care of the 3 minus 1 first. 3 minus 1 is 2. You're going to square it up. Minus, take care of this parentheses. 7 minus 11 is a negative 4. To subtract a negative is to add right here. 2 cubed is 8, not 6, not 4. 5, 4, and 8 give you 17. Number 4 looks very similar to number 1. I'm going to add 8 and 4 together to get 12. 56 minus 12 is 44. Take 44 and divide it by 10. You get 4.4. This next section is brought to you by Glade. We're going to plug it in. Nothing kills the smell of a freshman boy quite like a Glade plug-in. Get your pumpkin spice latte smell, your apple cinnamon smell at your nearest, wherever they sell them. All right, number 5 here, 10w minus 5 times x times y. Here are your values for those variables. 10, now you got to plug it in. It's 10 times 2.5 minus 5 times a negative 7 times a negative 4. Guys, a negative times a negative times a negative is a negative. You get 25 minus 140. That is negative 115. Be very careful on number 6. You are squaring a negative 4. Put that in parentheses. When you square negative 4, you get a positive 16. Minus, again, plug it in. 4 times 2.5 times a negative 7. A negative times a negative is a positive 70. 16 plus 70 is 86. 7 and 8, a little bit more challenging. You want to take your time here. Be very careful when you plug things in like so. Put brackets around it, all right? Because you got to clean up. 3 times negative 7, negative 21. A negative 2 times a negative 4 is a positive 8. Add those together, then square it. All right, treat this as its own problem. You get 169 over here. Then the right side is its own problem. Negative 7 times negative 4 is a positive 28. 4 times 2.5, positive 10. 28 over 10, 2.8. You're going to add 169 and 2.8. All right, on the next one, I got 10 times 2.5 minus negative 7 times negative 4. Negative times a negative times a negative is a negative. You're going to have 25 minus 28 on top. That gives you a negative 3. Down below, you're going to have 2 times 2.5. That gives you 5. 5 times negative 4 is a negative 20. A negative divided by a negative, only math would that give you positive. 3 over 20 is acceptable, or 0.15. 5. Next page, got too many X's in your life, and it's time for Match.com. Match.com, free joining week, Labor Day weekend. Find yourself some love, Match.com. Also, we are in Montgomery County, so don't forget about FarmersOnly.com. Number 9, simplify, combine those X's. 6X, 7X, you have 13 X's. Sounds like we should use the services of Match.com. Negative 10 minus 6, guys, you are in debt. 16. 13x minus 16y. Got to use that distribution. 3x minus 3 times 7 is 21. Minus 4 times 3 is a negative 12, guys. A negative 4 times a negative 4 is a positive 16. 3x, 16x, 19x's. Negative 21 minus 12 is a negative 33. And we are rolling. 6 times 3x is 18x. Minus 6 times 4, negative 24y here. Minus 7 times 5 is a negative 35y. And negative times a negative is a positive 28x. Add 18 and 28, positive 46. I was in debt 24. I spent 35 more. My wife takes away my credit card. I'm in debt 59. 46x minus 59y. Probably not going to see one like 12 tomorrow. Probably going to see only one of 13 or 14. This section will have 10 total tomorrow. 4 total, not 6 like you see here. 5 times 2 is 10 minus 5 times x. 3 times x is 3x minus 3y. Add those x's. Negative 5 plus 3 is a negative 2x. Those are the only like terms you have here. All right. 13 and 14, they involve fractions, but they actually multiply out, so they're not that bad. 3/4 of 20, guys. In parentheses, if you need to, you would do parentheses 3 backslash divided by 4 parentheses, and you would times that by 20, you get 15. Minus 3/4 of 12 is 9. Minus 2/3 of 12 is 8. A negative times a positive, again, is another minus. 2/3 of 15 is 10. Combine those x's, you get 7x. I was in debt 9. I spent more because I'm an American. Lost 10 more. I'm in debt 19. 4/7 of 14 is 8x. 4/7 of 21 is minus 12. Minus 2/5. All right, on 14 here, folks. 4/7 of 14 gives you 8x. Minus 4/7 of 21 is minus 12y. 2/5 of 10 is minus 4x. A negative times a negative is a positive 6y. 8x minus 4x is 4x. I was in debt 12, but I gained 6. Minus 6y. All right, there's 2 different ways you can do 15. I think a lot of you are going to want to do 15 like the first way here. If you want to get y all by itself, you can just move 5x over through subtraction. Always do the opposites. Negative 2y then equals 11 minus 5x. You could simply divide both sides by negative 2. This answer is acceptable. Or, in some classes they don't want you to divide by negative. It doesn't look good. It's unsightly. So you can move the 2y over first. You could have 5x equals 11 plus 2y. You could subtract 11 from both sides and then divide by 2. They are the same answer. I think a lot of you are going to choose this first method first. That is okay. You're going to have one that's almost identical to 15. It might be like 8x minus 3y equals 4. 16 is going to look similar. First thing you want to do, guys, the initial problem, you have the initial problem. It was t equals 1/3 HP. Multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1/3. Multiply both sides by 3. You get 3t equals HP. This one should be brought to you by Hewlett Packard. Have that lovely printer in here. Don't want to spend money on the Mac. Get an HP. Alright, then you're going to divide both sides by p, so you can get h all by itself. 3t over p is your answer. Moving on. This is a little bit faint. Solving equations. You guys are probably going to have 4, maybe 6 of these, but I think 4 on your quiz. You're going to subtract 14 from both sides. I was in debt 22. Subtract 14. I'm in debt 36. If I divide by 4, I get x equals negative 9. This one, I just got to distribute like I did on the second page. 2x minus 10 plus 3x. Guys, these are on the same side, so combine them. This is like the line of scrimmage. Get them in the huddle. 2x plus 3x is 5x. 5x minus 10 equals 2x minus 27. I want to subtract 2x. So I got 3x. I want to add 10 to the other side, so I got negative 17. Always divide by what is attached to x. Negative 17 over 3 is our answer. We're going to save 19 for the end here. 3/4 of 12 is 9x. 3/4 of 20 is 15. Don't forget the negative in the middle. 1/4 of 8 is just 8 divided by 4. It's 2. 1/4 of 24 is 6. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. I get 7x. I'm going to add 15 to the other side. 7x is 21. You get a nice answer of 3. X is 3. Take a look at 21. 21 and 22 are identical pretty much. Distribute 5x minus 5. Minus 6x, a negative times positive. Be very careful here. A negative times a negative is a positive 15. This is on the same side of the field. Combine like terms. 5x minus 6x is a negative 1x. Negative 5 plus 15 is 10. Subtract 10. You have negative x is 24. So if the opposite of x is 24, x is the opposite of 24. X is negative 24. 22, do the same thing here. Distribute 6x plus 24 minus 8, 2 times 4. A negative times a negative is a positive 6x. And that equals 47. 6 and 6 gives you 12, 12x. 24 minus 8 is 16. Subtract 16 from both sides. You get 12x equals 31. If you divide both sides by 12, you can always write your answer like this. 31 over 12 is good, or 2.6. Either way. Alright, guys, 19, you might need that math frac. You can, like I wrote here, right, this is a third of x plus a fourth of x. So you can do 1 backslash 3 in parentheses plus 1 divided by 4. When you hit enter, you're going to get 0.583 repeating. Hit the math button on my graphing calculator. Then it's going to be already highlighted over frac. You hit enter twice, it will tell you it's 7/12. Or you can get the lowest common denominator like you guys did in elementary school. 1/3 is 4/12. 1/4 is 3/12. 4 and 3 give you 7. And then 12ths. Cross multiply. 7 times 2 is 14. X. 7 times 12 is 84. 14x equals 84. X is 6. I pray that this will show up well, that it scrolls. You can hear my voice. This is 90.9, the Quadratic, signing out.